It's time for the B-A-Q-A. A, the B-A-Q-A with your such. The B-A-Q-A with Mandy. The B-A-Q-A with Tiffany. The B-A-Q-A. Hey, Mandy. How are you doing, girl?
I always feel so much better doing the BAQA than I do during the show. Cause like the regular show gets me all like, I get all my demons out and then I just come so much happier and joyful to the BAQA. It's like the sprinkles on top.
Right.
How
Sprinkle,
y'all doing,
sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Hit this that lady on TikTok. That sounds like sprinkle, sprinkle. Let's answer some moolah baby questions. We
got some good ones today.
Yeah, we do. Right. So, do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What you want to do?
Do you want Lawyer Bay or
Let's start with Lawyer Bay. You can go ahead. You could do Lawyer Bay.
Oh, well, thank you. All right. Before we do, should we do the usual disclaimer? Because Lawyer Bay says it's good.
Girl. Okay.
Yes.
So, hey, we love your questions. If you have questions about business, personal finance, career, and more, even just in personal life, child, we out here in these streets. You can ask us. You can go to brownambitionpodcast@gmail.com and email us there. brownambitionpodcast.com. We're Brown Ambition Podcast on IG, the BA Podcast on Twitter. But remember, we are two smart brown girls. Your faves, the cutest, the brownest, the cutest. We're just all the things. But what we're not is your financial advisor. We're not your doctor. We are not your attorney. We are just two smart brown chicks. And you're going to take our advice with the smallest sprinkle of salt and then bring that salt to the person that you pay for the advanced knowledge that you're needing in that particular topic. Okay? AKA, sue your mama, not us.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that disclaimer, Tiffany. Let's get into Lawyer Bay's question. This is juicy. Okay. Lawyer Bay says, I am a brown lawyer in my late 20s, making $125,000 a year with no debt. Bless. I currently contribute the maximum of my 401k, and I'm looking for advice on what things I can do to build wealth. I have an old faithful car. Okay, Tiffany. Just like you in your early days. And I'm slowly saving for a new car, but I'm not pressed about it. I'm in a long distance relationship, not married. I have $10K in my emergency fund and $15K saved for a car in the future or if Old Faithful breaks down. My rent is $1,750. I travel frequently because it's my favorite thing to do. Not interested in purchasing a home right now because of how often I travel, and I don't know if I'll stay in my current city. I'm grateful for the position that I'm in, especially having no debt, but I feel immense personal pressure to not squander this time where I could really be building wealth. What I'd like to know from you all is what things I can be doing right now that will set me up for wealth in the future. P.S. I love y'all's disclaimers. For the BAQA, my attorney brain is always like, yes, tell the folks.
Did you hear she said right here? She said, I just want to be sure I have the whole picture so you can give me your best, in quotations, non-professional advice. Because she knows, this is not professional advice. This is just Lawyer Bay. First of all, snaps. We love a brown, smart, just all around. It sounds like you are doing just about everything right, which is awesome. And so I just have a few quick little tweaks that you can do to enhance. So one, I'm curious to know how many months is you have a $10,000 saved for emergency funds. How many months saved is that? Is that at least 3 months? And as an attorney, how long did it take you to get your job? And how quickly do you think you can replace that job? So if you're to be on the super safe side, 5 months, I could definitely get a new job. Whatever that is, I would just want you to make sure that emergency fund is at least 3 months. And ideally, the amount of months you think it would take for you to secure another job with similar income. So that'd be one. And you might be we good on that. It's 3 months and I can get a job in 3 months.
It has to be 3 because her rent is $1,750.
That's what I was thinking.
Almost 6 times her rent. And I'm assuming the rest is for some room for her lifestyle. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have a car note, it sounds like.
Which is great. That's why I said I'm pretty sure. I just want to make sure that's something you just want to tap into just to make sure. And then I love that you're maxing out your 401k. And so there are 2 types of investments. I hate when people say save for retirement because you're really investing for retirement. right? So there's investing for retirement, and then there's investing for wealth. So it looks like you have the investing for retirement part down. And so you've maxed out your 401k. You might want to sit with a financial advisor to make sure that there's no other tax advantage maxing out that you can do. You might just be under the threshold where you could potentially put money into a Roth IRA, but I don't know. Like you would want to, like look at those numbers because last time I checked, it was like, it was like 139 as long as you made under that. But I can't remember if that was like a couple or a single person. But, and also too, I don't know how much money you're putting, like when you say you max out, I don't know how much money you are putting in your 401k because there is a max in general when you can put money into a tax advantage retirement account. So I would want you to max out across the board if you have the excess to max out all that you can when it comes to tax advantage retirement accounts. Whether it's 401k, Roth IRA, whatever that looks like. Okay. So that's one. So that's two actually. And then the third thing is I would want you, if you are like, no girl, retirement is maxed. There's nothing else I can do. Great. Then I would want you to look at investing for wealth. So you are in the position to do so. This means that it could be a brokerage, account, just like it's similar to your 401k, but you might be in the market via ETFs, mutual funds. This is something that you would want to sit with a financial advisor to kind of decide what's best for you. You are in a space where you would want to ask yourself, hey, financial advisor. So there are sites like XY Planning, right? There's that's where you could find financial advisors. There are sites like Wealth Ramp is one of them. There's sites like I have one called yourmoneymatch.com is one of them. I know Facet is one, right, Mandy, that you work with?
Yeah, Facet. There's investor.com. Thankfully, there's becoming, but the key is like, are you talking about for her because you're talking about like investing for wealth? Then you want to have
I would
registered
want you to
investment advisor.
Yes, to help walk you through like, hey, here are the places that I am. And now I have some space and leeway. And by the time I'm 50, I'd like to be here. And so you want a certified financial planner. That is the gold standard of financial advisors, that you want them to reverse engineer. Here's what you have to do now consistently to get to where you want to be by 45, 50 or whatever number that you kind of tell them. So that's the position that you are in now, where it's like, it seems like you have the foundational things down pat, which is great. Now you get to kind of future plan and say, by 50, I don't want to work anymore. By 50, I want to live in, Bali, whatever that is. And a certified financial planner can help reverse engineer. But not only that, because that's only a small piece of what they do. Because you are starting to grow wealth for yourself, a certified financial planner is going to help to holistically look at your life. They might say, are you fully insured for where you are now? Do you have enough insurance? They're going to look at depending on what other assets you have, do you have a will? I know, have children right now. Does it make sense for you to get a trust? It might not for where you are because you're still in your 20s, but a certified financial planner is going to look holistically at your life and find any holes and help you to plug them. And you can it is possible literally to get to a point, this is where I am in my financial journey, where there's nothing quote unquote left to do other than to continue on the path that I'm on. Because it's like maxing out on my retirement account.
Financial mountaintop.
Yes. It's just like, now I'm just like Anjali, my financial planner is just like, just continue. That's literally it. Like if you continue like this, you're going to hit your goal by age 50, like you want to just continue. So that's what I would suggest for you. Those three things. Make sure your emergency account is fully funded. Make sure your retirement account is fully funded on both sides of the aisle, and sit with a certified financial planner to plug in any of the holes and continue to enjoy your amazing, fabulous life.
Yeah. And honestly, the pressure that you're feeling, release a little bit of that, I would say. And I feel like you're so young. I mean, you say late 20s, but it's very young.
Yes.
And if I could give any advice to my late 20s self, I would say you do not know if you're going to want to keep doing that thing in 10 more years. 10 years is a long time. 39 is very different than 29. I'm not even there yet. 36 is different than 29. And I mean, where I was at 29 versus now is just so fundamentally different. I would say, save additionally on top of your emergency fund for like the what if I want to change my mind fund? Like, can we just have a change my mind fund, a pivot fund? And you don't have to have a name for it or have a plan for it, but I would be like, as you're continuing to invest and build wealth, that's true. But I just feel like the financial elasticity, the financial flexibility to grab some money that you just have and then just make something new, like do something new, whether it's starting a business, buying some property, whatever, just having a little bit of that. Not a little bit, but having some of that on the side, or at least acknowledging that you may want to have it on the side, is just, it's a game changer, I think, for your mentality, and also like get you out of that cycle of like, oh, this is my job, period. I'm going to do this job and do this job and do this job and do this job forever and ever, because it might just change down the line. Yeah, I think we all have that personal pressure. We should always be doing more, always be doing more. I would say, and I think Tiff and I, we talk about all the time, like there's what people are doing and there's sort of like what helps you sleep at night.
Yes.
So what other people are doing maybe is not enough for you, for your level of peace that you want. So learn all the things like you've been doing and then do it your own way. Do whatever you need to feel safe and secure. And I'm super proud of you.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, Warrior Bay.
Super proud. Alrighty, well, let's take a quick little break, and we'll be back with another juicy money question right here on the BAQA.
We're back. And we are back. Okay, we have a question. I'm not sure you want to say, well, I'm going to call you Lady Di because I'm not sure like how much of your name you want us to use. So, hey, ladies, I'm a new listener. Welcome, girl. My therapist recommended your podcast to me after I expressed the stress I have been experiencing from financial instability. First of all, shout out to your therapist, girl. Hey, therapist. Yeah. Before listening,
I feel great to be co-signed by a therapist and an attorney. You know
girl,
what I mean?
Yes. It means we are lit. Okay. Before listening, I had no savings. I finally opened a savings account and have saved $1,000 so far. Yes, Lady Di.
Nice.
What type of advice would you recommend this 26-year-old? Oh, it's the podcast of the 20s.
Yeah.
What type of advice would you recommend this 26-year-old when it comes to fighting the urge to not touch those savings? Also, how would one go about finding a financial advisor? Any and all advice would be greatly appreciated. Oh, Mandy, what do you say for Lady Di?
Oh, goodness. Well, I was you. I feel like at 26 with, finally doing the right thing. And then you collect the nice thing, collect all those dollars in your account. And then things about being in your 20s is like, there's always going to be something that wants to gobble that money up. Something, it's a wedding, it's a baby shower, I just got a promotion. Let's get the next biggest apartment with like an in-unit washer dryer. Like, why not? It's the brunches, etc. So for me, what was crucial in my 20s was creating a savings fund that was hard to get to. So I mean, I literally had a separate bank account, and I had my primary bank, which was, I don't know, I'm not going to name names. It was blue. And then I had this is my savings bank, which was purple. And I made sure that, when I got paid, everything was automatically, it would automatically go to my online savings was where I kept my emergency fund. You can get to it, but it's not as easy to get to. I didn't carry the debit card in my wallet and, little things like that. So it wasn't really easy to get to. This was before you can just pay with your face, and it's so freaking easy to spend money now. There's nothing we can do. But yeah, keeping it a little bit far away, at least mentally for me, was great. So I logged into my primary bank account and I would know this is the money I can spend because all my other bills to myself have been paid. And giving a name, like for example, at that online savings, you can create sub accounts of that main savings. So you can have, a savings for my down payment, which I save for, a savings account for maybe holiday spending, student debt payoff, whatever it may be. And then having a name attached to it just reminds you of what you're saving for. That's the biggest thing. And, paying myself first, automating those savings and keeping it separate and apart from my main checking account was a huge reason that I was able to do things like pay for my wedding in cash and buy a home, with a huge a huge a 20% down payment.
That's huge, girl.
And pay for a car in cash. Like these things that I would think should be celebrated right along with getting a big raise or getting a new job and things like that.
Yep. I agree. I like to say that make your money inconvenient because inconvenient money gets saved. So yeah, so same as Mandy, having a separate online only bank, just for savings. So like at your regular bank, you have your checking there, and at this other bank that's online, you can't roll upon it in person. And the reason why that's so critical is that if you're going to transfer savings from this savings account at this online only bank to this checking account at this regular bank, you're looking at minimum 24 hours, maximum 72 hours, depending when you do it, a transfer. So like if it's a holiday or whatever. So that means if you are at Target like me, I just love me some Target. Just thinking about it, I want to go back. If you're at Target, it's cute. And so if you are at Target, like me and Mandy's favorite place, and your checking account says, girl, now daggone well ain't no money in here like that. Normally, if your savings was at the same bank, you would just make a quick transfer within seconds. Your savings money would go to your checking account and you could swipe. But if your savings is at a separate bank, unless you're rolling out like a sleeping bag, because it's going to take 24 hours minimum to go from your savings to your checking account at a different bank, then it's going to force you to say, isn't even that serious, girl. Likely it isn't. So that's one that I agree. So, and then what I will say is oftentimes people dip into savings because they are not honest with the way they're wanting to spend. So if you set aside some spend money for yourself, it will reduce your desire to dip into savings. Meaning I give myself an allowance, because if not, I used to put almost everything into saving, being super ambitious. Right? Like you get paid and it's like, I have bills and savings. That's it. Yeah. And then I'm like, but wait, I want a pizza. I have savings.
It's like going on a restrictive diet.
Girl.
Like keto.
Yes.
I'm cutting out all bread.
And then you
were vegan for a cute little minute.
I was. And then what happened was, and vegan to me, no shade to y'all vegans, it was too restrictive for me. I had one little piece of chicken. I remember Tracy made wing flings. And she said, can you taste it? See if it's too spicy or something, she said. And I was like, no, I'm vegan. She's like, girl, bye. Just taste it. Girl, I had that piece of chicken and never went back. That damn one piece of chicken.
I feel like there was a werewolf transformation.
Girl,
and you turned back into a carnivore.
I was like,
I can't herbivore.
I said, I can't go back to that eating meat. And so now
I don't. It was.
It was. And so I will say, so something that's so restrictive makes it really hard to maintain. And so I don't believe, and Mandy and I don't believe in hyper restriction. So so let's just say if you are normally going to save, I don't know, making up a number, $100 a month, right? And that's all the money left over after bills. You might want to allocate 25 of those dollars for yourself. Or 30 of those dollars, so that way when things come up, you feel good about being able to enjoy life now while also setting aside for savings. So that would just be my second piece of advice, which is set aside some spending money for yourself. So you're not going to be dipping and then feeling bad every time you dip. It's like, well, I don't have to, when I dip, we dip. Put your hands upon my hips. When I dip, we dip. Someone said, I love how your man just be breaking out into song. I'm like, yeah.
It was Hala. She loved it.
Yes, she did.
So I will just say that specifically. This is what I was like, don't forget to say this. Your brain forgets things. Know your values. So when you spend that $25, you're spending it on something that you get clear on what brings you joy, what fills your cup, so that when you spend that $25, it's on something that you can really feel good about because you're in your mid 20s. You may not have a lot of that spending money. So if it is just $25, let it be a delicious meal that you share with friends. Let it not be, a shake. Shit, what can $25 buy these days? Like half a Shake Shack burger and like a couple fries is how I feel like.
In your hand, not even in the cup, like in my hand.
Yeah, that's if you pick it up. That's not with the tax tip and the travel fee and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just get clear on your values. And that's something that I did early in my 20s was like, I really enjoy Broadway theater and I enjoy travel and I can do without, the other stuff, the H&M wandering on your lunch break and the other ways that money disappears. So I would just add that to you. But thank you, 20-somethings, for sending in questions, making us feel young.
Yes. And
I
look
sound
at
old
us.
just saying that. But we are like your big sisters. You know what I mean? Like we
Well,
can
I'm
be
like
your
more
big
like
sisters.
auntie. I'll give you big sister, but I don't mind. Here, if a 20-year-old says, "Hey, auntie," I'm like, I mean, keep it cute because Amelia is 6 and Lily is 5. So, but I'll somehow allow. But if you have a 3 in front of your number, don't fix your lips to call me auntie. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah. Big sis.
Yes,
big
big sis. Big cuz is even better. Okay. All right. Hopefully we will see you next week. Ask your questions about not credit, career, business, personal finances, and in between
Life.
life,
Love.
child, right? Happiness,
Lust.
alignment.
No,
She said lust.
I got weird. I'm sorry. Intrusive thought 1.
We welcome all the questions. We will do our best as your big cousins and friends and sisters to help out. Until next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye.